back to the good, the bad, and the ugly, and it is Dahl pistols right now. Dahl pistols, like all Dahl guns, are burst fire, high fire rate because of that burst, but on hip fire, as you can see, burst there, 4-round burst, but hip fire, they're like Jacobs, where you have to pull the trigger for each shot. You can't just hold down the trigger. But generally, quick reload, good fire rate, decent magazine size, all around pretty solid stats, if not slightly low on the damage. But they are pistols, so they're not really bad there. So let's dig into it. First, we've got the Hornet, which is always corrosive locked. But this has 80% splash damage added to it as its special ability, and I believe it has a bigger burst as well. Whoops, that's single fire. Yes, so a 6-round burst rather than a 4. Compare the stats here. You do get reduced damage, but it's God, that's barely 1,000, 1,700, something like that. Pretty low. You have reduced accuracy, and you do feel that with the Hornet, and you have an increased chance to corrode. So you can kind of see that splash. Should just do a single shot there. But the 80% splash damage makes a pretty big difference. So 458k versus 329. So you can see that's a pretty large difference there between the Hornet and the regular Dahl pistol. And the Hornet is an absolute beast on anything armored. The base damage combined with that big 80% splash damage, with the fire rate of a 6-round burst, it just chews through anything that's armored outside of some very, very large enemies. But even that, like bosses like Wilhelm and stuff, any armored bosses, it will actually eat through really fast. So this is just an incredibly great pistol. The only thing that really holds it back is the fact of it's corrosive only. Some people don't mind that. Some people like elemental locked guns to increase the diversity of their build. I would love to have the Hornet and fire and shock and some other elements, but I'm fine how it is. It's an incredibly good gun, and anything beyond that is being nitpicky. Next, we have the Dominator. It's an E-Tech pistol. So yeah, you have the exact same stats, but the Dominator, so you see it goes to the enemy and then blows up. Oops, was that the wrong one? Nope, that was the right one. Where a dart does the same thing for the same damage. The difference here should be the dart goes and bounces around, where the Dominator will swing back around and home in on the enemy. So you can see that dart is actually still bouncing around. The dumbest thing about these guns, let's see if I can... Yeah, they will attach to a surface, I think, if they hit that surface. Maybe not those. They're just going to keep bouncing around forever. Yeah, the dumb thing about the darts is even when you hit your target, there's a delay before they hit. So let's see... Whoa, what was that? So I guess it's not a guaranteed hit. Yeah, so the Dominator, if you're close, is supposed to seek him out. But it just takes so long to blow up. These things are pure splash damage, so you can't hit him in the head. So even there when it was on his head, that's not a crit. You see those are on his head, no crit. These guns can't crit, they're pure splash damage. And because they're pure splash damage, that damage is decent at 400,000. But without the ability to crit and the fact that it takes so long to just hit the enemy, they just aren't good. And it's 2 ammo a shot for that. That's one of the dumbest things. It's, God, they're terrible. I'm not going to spend more time on it. Any E-Tech guns are bad guns. Or pistols, I should say. I should definitely preface that. Because, yeah, E-Tech pistols are just god-awful. Alright, so next we have the Teapot. The Teapot is kind of the baby brother sister to the Hornet. As you can see, you still have that splash damage. Now, actually, I'm going to go over here and look at the Hornet for a comparison of stats. So you have less damage here. Decently, too. About 50,000. But you have higher accuracy and lower pretty much everything else. Part of that's just because it's a blue gun. The Teapot, compared to its blue variant, it's kind of all over the place. You have, let's see, lower damage, higher accuracy, lower fire rate, lower magazine size, lower chance to corrode. Make sure that is a Dahl grip. I have made that mistake before in these videos. So the Teapot here, 19, also has a shorter burst. So there's a burst of 2. I guess the blue ones do too. I didn't realize that before. Interesting. So, the nice thing about the Teapot, though, is you can see it is dead spot on accurate. So, you can land a lot on crits with this thing. Which can actually make it almost better than the Hornet. The Hornet still just raw powers through better than the Teapot. But one nice thing about the Teapot, it's 2 bullets per burst, so you're not using as much ammo with it. It's more ammo efficient. And it'll still wreck guys pretty good. When you get up to the bigger enemies, like if you are going to fight like Bunker or Wilhelm, or Bunker without Bore obviously, or Wilhelm, or bigger armored enemies, ultimate badass loaders, ultimate badass constructors, then the Hornet definitely kind of shines. But anything short of that, the Teapot kind of stands pretty close to the Hornet, and that's nice for a blue version of it. And because it spawns, or you get it from the Tiny Tina Teapot mission, you can get it right before you go fight Wilhelm. And that's one of the first times you run into a bunch of loaders, so it comes at a good point in the game. I'm a big fan of the Teapot. Next you have Gwen's Head. Gwen's Head always spawns with a TDR grip for some reason. But you have increased damage and increased magazine size from its blue version, which is nice. And that's the Gwen's Head. So you see there again, 2-round burst. Seven-round burst. So the Gwen's Head is just basically a big burst gun, but it's a Hyperion barrel, which means it has a multiplicative crit bonus. So as you see there, and you have a big crit bonus beyond the regular Dahl one. And the fact that it's Dahl and burst, you can see how easy it is to land a lot of those shots on crit. Like there, I'm pretty sure all those were on crit. They were. So it's 7 shots on crit. Now the Gwen's Head, like the little scale, you don't have to farm it. Well, kind of farm it, but it pops up in various boxes around the dust. So you don't have to kill a boss to get it. You can just go pick it up. And one of those spots is in Ellie's garage. I think there might be 7 spots. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But there's various locations it can spawn around the dust. And so you can just, one of those is in Ellie's garage. So you can just keep, zoning in and out until you get it. This isn't great at the end game, partially because it's just, I don't think the Tedior grip helps it. If you could have a Dahl grip on it, it might be a little bit better. Or just any grip, if you could choose grips, you know. Maybe this would be really nice with a bandit grip or something. But yeah, it's a solid gun for leveling up, like this and the Lascal both. You know, if you need a decent gun while you're leveling up and on your way to the end game, this is a pretty easy and effective gun to get. You just gotta really ADS with it and hit crits. So, Dahl guns, I would say hit 2.5 out of 4. The Gwen's head, like I said, is a little lackluster at endgame, but I'm gonna bring in a Lynchwood and play with it anyways. Since there's 4 of these guns, I'll bring them all, but I don't plan on shooting the Dominator. Maybe I will just to demonstrate how god-awful it is. But, yeah, the Hornet and the Teapot are both absolutely tremendous guns, and they're very similar but different enough where I kind of like that like big brother, little sister, or big little sister kind of relationship of the blue to legendary gun. I think it's a great level of progression, and I wish they did that a little bit more. You know, it would be cool if, like, example, Jacobs, you have the Maggie, but then you had a Pearl version of the Maggie that was better. Like the Unforgiven could have been a better Maggie. So yeah, those are Dahl. Let me know what you guys think of these pistols. Got a feeling there's quite a few fans of a lot of these. Maybe there's even some big Gwen's Head fans out there. And that is it. So thank you once again for watching, and I will see you guys later. If you've not subscribed yet, do so. Come by, check out the thread, and leave comments below. So one more time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.